Hello, Catastrophic here. Today we're going to learn about certain behaviors, and some of those are going to be an aura / virus. And basically virus is going to be a behavior type aura that will spread debuffs via units, and every time it is spread to a unit, that newly infected unit can spread it to another unit, and so on. It can be further spread. And aura is basically going to only have just one person that can give the buff or the debuff to nearby units, and those units with the buff can't spread it or anything. Only the person that has the aura can. And then we're going to get into buffs and debuffs. Basically, a debuff is something that decreases a unit's statistics, and buff makes a unit stronger in some way. And then we're going to learn about thorns. This is basically a behavior that can apply damage or any negative, most of the time negative, debuffs to enemies that attack a unit. For example, if you shoot a unit that has thorns, either as a passive or just activated from an ability, it will apply damage to you when you attack it. A good example of this is in Cave of Blood. I added thorns on the Mimic chest and the Hydralisk Nitrobal and the Swamp, and it's an ability. Every once in a while, if you attack them when they have thorns, you'll get heavy damage on you. So that's what that's good for. And the damage resist is basically takes a percentage of damage that was done to you and negates that from the total. So if you have 50% damage resist, then if someone hits you with 10 damage, they'll only deal 5 damage plus whatever armor you have. So if you have 1 armor, that 5 damage will go down further to 4 damage. So you see how that works. And then there's the opposite. You can there could be minus 50%. So if you take 10 damage, minus 50%, you'll take 15 damage instead. So you lose damage resistance. And then I'm going to add a bonus for map hazards, which will basically be like anything in a map in the world that's not a unit, that if you walk through, you will get buffed or debuffed depending on what it is. Like walking through water will slow you down, etc. Alright, yeah, that's what we're going to learn today. The main subject is behaviors. Alright, so let's get to it. Open up the StarCraft editor, and we're going to go to the data editor. It's going to be the Marine icon, and the data source, we're going to go to behaviors, and the data source, select your own map, because how this works is it takes whatever custom whatever data is in each of these sources, and it shows only that. So if you show all data, it'll show every single object and behavior in this case, or units, actors, whatever tab you're using. I'll show that. If you go to your map, my map is named test, it'll show only the custom data, which will show as green, as opposed to blue, which is non-modified. And when you just make a behavior here, I'll just call this virus, just to show you real fast. See, it shows up as green. So that's a custom added behavior. And I'm just keeping it like this because it's easier to work with. You don't have, every time you select a tab, it loads up. You gotta wait for it to load and all that. I mean, I have a fairly fast computer. My last computer took freaking forever to do this. So this actually isn't that bad, but you get the idea. Alright, so the virus. First, we're going to actually copy paste that. Actually, no, never mind. No, because this is actually, it's just going to spread itself. Alright, so first thing we're going to do now is go to effects, go add effect. I call this virus AB, short for apply behavior. Search for the apply behavior effect type, hit suggest, hit OK. So now you got virus AB, copy paste that. Virus SA, I just do this because I've made thousands of these. It's faster than doing, virus search area, which is the kind we're going to do, search area. You search if you hit the effect type, make it search area. So I just do abbreviations, makes it faster. So we got search area, and impact location. Let's make this source unit because it's going to be on a behavior that is going to be permanently on. I'll show you for a second. Let's make infested civilian, infested Terran from let's see, where's the regular ones? Civilian. Let's just use this guy then. So we're going to have these guys be the infected. Just copy paste a couple of them. And let's make some civilians. Civilian? We need to add dependency. Second. Standard, there we go, Liberty campaign, just add those two. Well, I guess you gotta save it first. Let's just go to dependencies, add just the two campaigns for Liberty, if you wanna get the zombie and the civilian. Or they're called infested Terran, actually. There we go. These guys. So you hear them growling and shit. Alright, so we're gonna add some civilians. Let's just make a whole lot so you can really see. And let's make that actually hostile. Make those player one, so we're going to control these, and these are going to be hostile. And I'll just add some cliffs in here real fast. So you got some scenery. There we go. And some buildings. Let's go see something else. That's all. That's there. Alright. These structures usually the college sizes it has that many. Some of them are so that's fine. This handle. Alright. So now we got a little city going on. This will be like a virus outbreak in the city. Now what we're gonna do, go back to the data editor, go to effects, find the virus search area, and we're gonna go to the effect, wherever that is. Here, the search effect. Huh? What is it? Oh, it's areas. So go to search areas, add, and basically this is going to be the area. The radius is the most important thing here. This is the size of how much the behavior will affect an area. So we're gonna put in I think a reasonable size is 6. That's about how far a stalker can shoot. If you think with that, a marine is range 5. This will basically draw a circle around the size around the unit. So let's do 6, and that circle around the unit, that's where the effects are going to be applied. All right, so do virus AB, apply behavior. Arc. What this does is if you set it to say 15, fuck, let me open up paint here so I can show you this. It's hard to explain. Let's make us a circle. Alright, so if this is our search radius, then the R controls is basically a dot in the middle, and that's basically where the effect is going to come from. And if you do a full 360, if you do bring this down to not 0, but just type in 360, that's where it defaults at. It'll affect all units in the circle. Now, if you set it to say 20, about 20, you can see in the little image there, it'll affect from 0 to 20 degrees. So if this is your unit, it'll basically have a small cone of search in front of your unit, that the effects applied in cone. The effects will apply to the units in this fucking cone. There we go. So these units, which are these X's that are out of the cone, they won't be in the search radius. So if you hit, say, 180, then your search radius will be about half a circle in front of your unit. So now all these units will be included. Everything in a half circle behind your unit will not receive the effect. So that's just a little demonstration how the arc parameter of the areas work here. Alright, so now we're going to add or did I add it already? Yeah, I already added it. So let's make this 360, because it's just going to spread all around the unit. Make the radius 6, hit OK. Now we need to, only other thing we need to do here is search filters right here. This is going to allow us to choose who is going to get infected by the virus. So we're just going to make an enemy. In fact, I need to add another behavior because I'm doing that. And I need to exclude self. I'll show you that in a second. So you exclude self, so it won't affect your own unit. That's important. You don't want to give the virus to yourself. You can say that you're immune. Let's not give it to structures. Missiles. And I think dead. And I guess it makes sense if we have flying, air. Where's air units? Oh, right here. Yeah, if a unit's flying, I think it makes sense. A zombie on the ground, it's not going to spread a virus up to it. Unless you want it to, however you want. But let's do that for here. That's pretty much it. If you have items in your game, we can do exclude so it doesn't spread it to items. And I think that's it. Hit OK. One more thing I wanted to show you was there's a maximum count. Yeah, so I think what this does is whatever number, if you set it to -1, that's infinite. So it can infect an infinite amount of units at any given time. If you set it to any number above, say 5, it can only infect 5. 1, it can only affect 1. At whatever interval will have the effect, the search effect applied. So right now, I'm just going to set that default. So it's -1 because we want it to infect infinite amount. And you can change that later. So now we're going to do the virus apply behavior. Apply that behavior virus in the effect colon behavior part parameter. And everything else here is fine. You can leave that as target. Don't make that source. Alright, now let's go back to our behavior. Now we actually need to copy this. Make one called virus source. So this is what the zombie is going to have. And see, effect periodic virus search area. And periodic, it will basically do this effect. It'll apply it periodically for as long as the unit has the behavior. And we modify the periodic effect with the parameter here, period. This will set the seconds to how often it will apply the effect. So in this case, we'll set it to, say, 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds, it'll spread the virus, basically. That's what this is going to do. Alright, now let's just add a little icon. Let's see what we can find here. Looks like there we go, a little zombie picture. Let me make the tooltip right here. Say this unit infects nearby enemies with virus. Alright, you can make that red if you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The source. And we want to have the duration has set to 0. When you do that, it will be permanent, as opposed to giving a number. And the virus itself, let's also set that to 0. Alright, now we are going to make a damage effects. Let's call it virus DMG. This is just effect type damage. Alright. Let's make it I'll do 3 damage. We'll make it 3 damage a second. Make the kind spell, that's fine. Go back to virus. Right here. Go to the periodic effect. Find virus damage. Plug that in to the periodic effect. Go to period. Hit 1. So that'll be per second. It'll deal 3 damage. Yeah, make that target unit, that's fine. And let's also just go to modification here. I'll go into this further in a bit. But we'll just also make the unit lose a little speed. So I'm going to set this to 0.8. So it's going to lose 20% speed basically, is what I'm doing here. 0.8. 0.8 speed, that's basically 80% speed of whatever speed the unit currently has. So 1 is default, as you see, and if you hit 0 it will basically not move at all. Set to 0.8, 20%, and if you don't want to make it so overpowered, you can put a duration on the virus, set it to 300, that's 5 minutes, 120, 2 minutes, whatever. We'll just make it permanent. I want to see the units die from it eventually. Alright, let's actually just set the period 0.5 so they die a little faster. Alright. Is make a virus infected, and do type model type model animation, stock, and continuous. And what we're making here is basically like a poison model on the unit. Go to model. Let's find poison. I'm sure I'll have something. I hate searching this looking thing right here. Poison, try gas. Okay. Toxic gas cloud. I'm pretty sure that's really big. So let's just make this say 0.3. And just double make sure here. Just add an event. Call it actor creation. Set tint to grain because it's so it looks like poison. Make it 3 HDR multiplier. Alright. And now we're going to add a behavior event. Find the virus, not the source, but the regular virus. Set on and just do type create action. Copy paste that. Behavior virus off. So when the behavior virus is off, it'll destroy. And when the behavior virus is on, it'll create this actor. That's basically what that's going to do. Alright, now you see here it links to the virus. You can tell that it's linking to it in this little drop down menu. I think that's it for that. One more thing. I'll add a neat little trigger here. Just clear that. We actually needed to clear that anyway. That would have ended the game if we started. Let's call this Undead Spawn. Go to events. We're going to add unit dies. And let's make condition has behavior. So if triggering unit, which is the dying unit, has virus equal true, and we'll just make an action. This is really simple. I'm just making a trigger to create more zombies when an infected civilian dies. This is actually exactly how it works, pretty much, in my game, The Plagued. If you all ever played that. Now we'll do a create unit, facing angle, create one, do an infested turret. I think that's it. For player one, yep. And you can even do for player killing player, so whoever killed it, going to be more specific. At points, and do position of unit, position trigger unit, and do ignore placement. Actually, that's important. We're going to do birth. I think that plays the birth actor, so the zombie will look like it's coming to life. It'll look pretty cool. Obviously, it kind of doesn't really make sense when you see the unit die and then a zombie spawns on it, but that's as good as it's going to get for this tutorial. I'm not going to get into transformation or anything. Alright, I think that's all we need for the virus. Let's do one more thing before we test this. Show this portion. Let's add medic, and these are gonna give healing auras. I just make like 3 of them over here in the edges. Basically, we're just gonna copy both these actually, and copy the actor. And the apply behavior effect. I don't know why it doesn't have the. Okay, just copy from this, and all the drop down here. Check them. You never want to check the blue text, because those are just that's just the model of the toxic gas cloud from the actor. It just you don't need to copy it in this case because we're not changing it or anything. But that's just a tip. You only duplicate, you put the check marks for the objects you want to duplicate that you're going to change, you're going to make different changes to. And in this case, we're going to use all of these. And the damage, we're going to be changing that to a heal instead. I'll show you. I actually don't like that Blizzard did this. It's confusing. They used to have a copy on the end, like so. Now it's kind of a little more confusing, but whatever. Let's call this medic source, or healer. Healing, there we go. Copy that. Find the right one. The one you copy is going to have a 2 in it in the ID parameter here. That's how you can tell the one they duplicated, because you can see there's 2 viruses. Alright, let's do healing. We call this healing model. Go to the effects, make this healing AB, and I'm just going to do this real fast. Healing, modify unit. Find modify unit right here. Always hit suggest, and the modify unit, we're going to go to vitals, go to life. This is where you can change the fraction, so you can have it heal a percentage. You say 5% health per second, or 50% health a minute, or whatever, or instantly, however you want to do it. In this case, we're just going to do it by points. Say 5 points. So it'll heal slightly faster than the virus will damage the unit. And to get past this, we're just going to have to kill the medic that's near the civilians. You'll see this is also exactly how it is in the Plagued when you get the medics, which actually the healing behavior in the Plagued it disables the behavior, the virus behavior. So I'll actually show you how to do that here. So let's do half a second, periodic. You just saw I set that default. So we're going to go back to modification, go to behavior, and all we're going to do here is go to add behaviors disabled, add virus. So whenever a unit gets infected, if it also has the healing, then it will stop the virus behavior. Now, unfortunately, you gotta do a little bit more than that, because as soon as the unit walks away from the medic, it will become reinfected, even if there's no zombies nearby. Let me just do this real fast. Healing, search area. I'll show you what I was talking about just in a second. Let's do this first. Let's make the radius for healing, make it 10, a little bit larger. And search filters, you gotta make this just neutral, ally player, but not the enemy. You also want to do self, so it can make itself heal itself and make itself immune to the virus. And yeah, that's that. Now what we want to do is make healing remove behavior. Let's call this an RB, remove behavior, and we're going to go to behavior, find virus, and make this target unit. And there you go. We're actually have to add one more effect for healing. Call it healing set. And we're going to find the effects right here. Find healing, RB, hit OK, copy paste, double click, healing, AB. And once you got both those in there, find the search area, and we're actually going to replace the AB with healing set. And so basically what I did there, yeah, it's in there. So the healing set will apply the behavior, and it will remove the behavior at the same time. That way when the unit walks away, when the civilian walks away from the medic, it won't have the virus come back, because all the behavior does when you disable it in the modification section is it basically makes the behavior null and void while it's under the behavior, the healing behavior in this case. But as soon as you move away, it becomes active again. So when you have remove behavior, it will remove it at the period of 0.5 seconds, or it'll make the source 0.5 seconds. And we also need to do, let's just make this, I usually make this about a fraction of a second faster. That way the unit is constantly given the behavior, otherwise the behavior will go on and off and on and off. You'll see it blinking because the behavior isn't applying it fast enough. Whereas that's not the case with the virus, because the virus lasts forever. And the healing, actually I need a duration. Just make it 0.5. So basically, as soon as the civilian leaves the medic, the area near the medic, it'll lose the healing behavior. And this is aura. This is basically an aura. And it can't be spread like how I'm making the virus. Okay, now we need to, we need to add a second effect here. I mean another effect. Let's call this virus virus set. Okay. Now we need to make another search area. Called virus search area. Let's call it infected. And yeah, virus AB. And we just need to do search filters, make this ally, neutral player. This is basically the virus that will be infecting the player's own units. That's why we need a separate search area. So that we also don't have it. We don't have it do enemy, because we don't want it to add the virus to the zombies. That will damage them. So yeah, we go to virus set. This is going to be virus search area infected. Copy paste that and do virus damage. There we go. That's how it's done. So now we go to virus, go to periodic, do virus set. So this will damage the unit, and it will search all nearby allies, and it will give them virus. And to just give it we're going to give it a chance, a rate, so it doesn't spread instantly. Should be a little unreal, I think. Give it a, say, a 20% chance to spread. That's what that is right there. It's normally set at 1, which is 100%. And that's that. And let's change the model for healing. I think the one normally uses mineral, like mineral crystals, active minerals. Mineral crystal glue, there we go. Just make that 1. And just make it a little different green. Actually, set that to 1. Let's go back to this, because we don't want to see the same exact tint. Just make this, the toxic, a little darker green. I think that more makes more sense. Yeah. Healing. Virus. I think that's it. Healing set. Alright, let's try that. Find the medic. Have to go to all data, find the medic. Let's actually remove the heal. So it'll just have an aura. To healing. Source. Actually, we gotta change that too. Change the picture. Just find heal. There we go. Copy paste that. Put it into this icon too. There we go. Forgot to do that. And I'll make the movement speed 0, so this unit can't move. It's just going to be a stationary unit that heals nearby units. I'll just double make sure to remove heal ability. That's the normal medic heal that comes with the medic. And yeah, I think we can test it now. Alright, to make these hostile. Alright, let's move these a little back here. One more thing, create camera, put our units, unit trigger, call it unit, and utilization, new element, map, initialization, actions, apply camera, make this apply that one camera we made, play 1, 0 seconds. Alright, good. And we'll just also reveal maps so we can watch what's going on. Reveal entire map, player 1 for 0 seconds, which is permanent. Alright, let's try that. Oh, I forgot. Instantly realize infested Terrans need the virus source. I saw that they didn't have it. Bam. Okay, now let's try it. I'll send them. You see that they got the virus. There you go, you see the medic is healing the units. See, it's got healing and healing source. Forgot to change that tooltip, but you see it. You see the healing model. Oh, I know why they're blinking. That's one thing I forgot to change. Test. Go to see, I've already done all this before, so I know instantly how to debug it. Healing. Need to go to buff flags and make this refresh stack. When you check that, basically what's happening here is yes, the behavior is lasting pretty much consistently. You know, it's not blinking, but the behavior is being applied, and after 0.5 seconds it gets unapplied and then reapplied instantly. That's why I see the actor model is just being destroyed and then recreated instantly. For some of the units, looks like it's kind of happening randomly for whatever reason. But when you hit refresh stack, the behavior flag right here, refresh stack, they'll basically, what it basically does is the behavior will be applied every 0.4 seconds will be applied, and then it'll update this 0.5 seconds. So I mean the duration of 0.5 seconds. So this never goes down to 0 seconds, the duration. So then never actually gets removed. Right now that's what you're seeing, the behavior is getting removed each time the blinks happen. Alright, that's that. Let's go ahead and infect some of these guys. I gotta see, oh god. Well. I gotta change that, but you saw they were getting infected. That was pretty cool. Just gotta fix that real fast. Let's also make the heal-in radius a little smaller. Say make it 7 instead of 10. So the source virus. Go to modification. Go to behavior and make this hit virus. So it can't infect itself. That's what that will do. Alright. Just gonna double check these. Virus EB. Okay, let's also make this I'll make it 2 seconds. Or what was this virus? 0.5 seconds. Alright. I'll just make it 0.5 seconds then. Because there's a 20% chance. So it's not going to be instant. Every 0.5 seconds the unit gets infected. It has to go through the 20% chance first. Alright, I think that'll work now. That didn't seem to fix that. Hold on here. Yeah, we'll just go on. Have to forget about that. There you go, so now you see they only have the virus source. And there you go, this now it's getting infected. I'm just gonna back my zombies up actually. Or they should be infecting themselves. I guess they're dying too fast. You see they're taking damage. I think they're dying way too fast. You see it's by chance. Some of these guys aren't getting infected. Now when we get to the medic, these guys aren't getting infected. So now we gotta kill that medic there. Or move it away. Actually, I just gotta kill it. I don't know, will we be able to? It's healing pretty fast. There we go. Bam. Now let me run get infected. And there we go. Let's make a couple changes here. That medic heals way too damn fast. And the virus actually kills too fast. So we'll do virus. Do 1 second. Actually, I'll keep at 0.5 seconds. There's lower damage. Making 1 damage. I go to healing. Just do 1.5. There we go. Heal at 1.5. And yeah, I don't know why that healing isn't doing. Maybe if I add longer duration, maybe. I won't blink. Yeah, there you have it. That's a virus and aura for you. The aura was the medic, the virus is zombie. I just want to see the citizens infect each other, though. It'll just give us a little hard chance as well. I think that'll fix that. Alright, start infection. See, they're not infecting each other. Oh. You know what, I think I actually do need to make that, just make that enemy. I think. Because the behavior, the virus behavior still technically belongs to the origin player. In this case, player 1, which is me. That's why it's not spreading. Okay, that should fix it. There we go. Holy crap. Jesus. It's fucking deadly. Okay. You can see it stopped where the medic is healing. Of course, because they're healing and they're immune. Alright, well, the chance, I'll just lower that down to instead of doing that, let's just go to the virus, set the period to 5 seconds. Make the search area a little less. Then the zombies spread it, so 4.5. Let's make it 4. Guess make the chance a little lower. That should be a slower spread right there. And okay, for this, I'm pretty sure we're just going to do unit dies. And we'll just do damaging effect. I think that might be it. Virus damage. I think that should do it. Now let's try it. Should be all green, all good to go. We infected a couple. Let's watch as it spreads. Okay, now they're dying way too slowly. Way too slow. The infection rate is pretty much perfect, I think. So slowly, more and more are getting infected. Okay, notice the healing model looks like it's fixed now. Jesus. Let's get this unit to die a little faster. But you don't want to kill them. You want the virus to finish them off. That way they'll spawn the zombies.
Gladly. Your will. Yes. Gladly. Yes.
Look.
Gladly.
Come on, give me some zombies. There we go. We got some zombies spawning. Kill the marine. Yeah, there you see it's working. What I need to do virus also If you're going to be a zombie player, you can just do killing player. Make that player whatever the zombie player is. If you have a zombie type game, just make it player 1. So any way you kill a unit, it'll turn them to zombie. So you can just put both of these in or. I mean, you don't even need this, but that's just to show you. If you want the virus to turn them zombies, or however you want to do it. There we go, you got zombies. And virus. You see, when you kill them, they don't turn into a zombie. Because you have to have the virus finish them off. Kill the medic. We can spread it more. There we go. That's a simple virus for you. Basically how it is in the plague. Alright, so next up on the list we got, now I can show you thorns and damage resistance. So damage resistance is really simple. We're going to go to damage response tab here. Go to combat. To enable this, we set the chance at 100% chance. Now this is actually how you add dodge rate as well. If you want to, say, give 5% dodge rate, do 0.05, go down here, you're going to find the location, defender, and you'll find all these next to it. Keep that at defender. What's important here is this one field right here, modification fraction. So if we hit 0, this will reduce all damage. You see these are the damage kind. This is how I set, I'm going to uncheck splash and proc, I usually do. Melee and range and spell. So that's basically all the damage. I guess we do spell too. I mean splash too. I never use no proc. Not sure what that's for. But this is going to hit, set all damage to 0 at a 5% chance. So you have a 5% chance of when you're hit, you'll dodge all that damage. Now you can set it to half damage, 0.5%, or 50% at 0.5 right here. And so now you're going to have, you can make this higher, say 4. So you have a 40% chance of dodging 50% damage. It's basically, so you have a 40% chance of taking 50% less damage. Taking less or dodging that much, however you want to word it in your tooltip or whatever. I think when you have this at 0, that's a true dodge. You take no damage. But usually you'd have this at a lower chance. Otherwise that would be ridiculous to have a 40% dodge rate or higher than that. Usually you have a lower. And you can set this to just spell damage or just range and melee. That's what that's for there. And yeah, that's how you do a damage resistance. That's pretty simple. Now what we're going to do, we'll just set this at 1, so that's 100% chance. So this is how we can add 100% damage resistance. So let's just set this at 10%. I don't know, 10% would be 0.9. So now you basically have a behavior that gives you 10% damage resistance every time you're hit. That's what I call more of a passive damage resistance. Yeah, so that's damage resistance for you. So now let's go into thorns. So this has 100% modification fraction. Just set it to 1 because it's not going to affect the damage you receive. Location, make that defender. And all we're going to be using is the handled effect right here. Basically, when you're hit, every time you're hit with the weapon, the handled effect will be applied. In this case, we're gonna let's make an effect called Thorns damage. Type damage, suggest armor reduced by 1. So that basically ignores armor, by the way. If you put it at 1, that's the percentage. If you hit at 0.5, it'll ignore 50% armor, and so on. So let's make this deal. Let's give this to my zombies, and just to show you, make it deal 10 damage to enemies every time my zombies are hit. So my zombies will have thorns. Or I'll give it to another unit to show you. So let's just call this thorns. Let's give it an icon. Let's see what comes up when I type in thorn. There you go, looks pretty good. Thorns. And this is going to be permanent, by the way. A unit will permanently have this thorns. You can make an ability type instant and just give it apply behavior effect. So every time you use the ability, it will give them the behavior of thorns. And then you can just make the thorns at a temporary time, make the thorns last 10 seconds. And they can use that ability every 20 seconds. Then they can use the thorns. You can do it that way too. I'm just doing this for the tutorial's sake. So we go to thorns damage. And hit OK. Damage. We want to find the launch, the impact location. I think we want to make this. Let's just try it as it is. But it's either going to be target unit or outer. It might be outer unit. I think it's outer unit. Actually, let's try that. That's where the impact. That's where the effect will occur. So it should be the outer unit, not your unit that's being attacked. Okay, I think a good unit for this, just find Brack here. He's a big looking unit. He looks like he would have thorns. Or let's just do Brutalist, because Brack is not in the pack that the dependencies I got. So let's go add the behavior, thorns. Add it. Try it again. When you do that, you gotta wait for it to show up right here and then hit OK. I just do it too fast. All right. Now we can add the Brutalist. Layer 1. And we got Brutalist that gets thorns every time he's attacked. So I'll just add a lot more Marines. Let's see it go to work. Let's add a little bit more armor to the Brutalist so he doesn't die. Say 4 armor. So they don't look like they're taking damage. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, I think I need to check this. I think that's it. The first one, target unit point. We'll get it I'll probably just edit all this out too. There we go. Now you see the thorns is working. Yeah, they're dying and they shoot my Brutalist. And every time one of them die, they turn into a zombie. As you can see. Okay. Yeah, so basically it was just keep that default, and what I didn't do right was got a combo here. These all need to be checked. I didn't have them checked. And that's pretty much it. That's thorns. One more thing I want to do just to make a little bit more, add a little style to it. We're going to add an actor. Add a little bit of say thorns effect. Add a little bit of an effect to it. No, I'm not sure. I know, egg death. It might be a good looking model for this. Worker egg death. Might be pretty big, so just make that 0.4. And make sure it's style one shot. Style one shot will happen once. Continuous will continue to occur until you order it to stop. That's the difference between those two. So we're going to go to events, add events, and real simple is go to effect, thorns damage, do start, add term at effect. Yeah, add effect. What is that? Maybe target outer. Let's try this and then just do create. And there you go. Now you'll have an effect play when they attack. So you'll tell that they're taking damage from the Brutalisk's thorns. So let's pay attention to the Marines. There we go. So it looks like they're taking damage now when they hit the Brutalisk. That's pretty cool looking. Some blood coming out of them, gushing out. Yeah, that's that. Now for the last thing, this tutorial, the map hazards. So how we're going to do this is just copy from our virus right here. Copy AB and I'm going to do this. Copy from the source actually. Copy the search area and the apply behavior. Copy the behavior and the actor. Hit OK. And what we're going to do, we're going to make some water, and the water is going to slow a unit. So the virus, let's call it soaked. Make sure it's number 2 right here. Soaked source. Remember, you won't be able to see this if we go to flags and do hidden from game or default UI. You won't be able to see the behavior then if you do that. on a unit. So go to soaked source, periodic, go right here, go to soaked search area, and then the AP, soaked AB. Alright, make this 100% chance. Because when you get soaked by water, it's not just a chance that you're going to be soaked. You'll just be soaked. Make that soaked. Search area. Now this depends on the size of your the water. So let's just make it pretty relatively large. Make it 12 or 10. And the search filter is going to be everything. No structures, no missiles, no air units. So that's actually good. No periodic. Take that away. No period either. Make the duration 0.6 seconds. Make the source period 0.5 or anything less than the behavior that it gives, so that way it gives it properly and it's not going to blink on and off. Because if you make this 1 second, the unit will get the behavior once every 1 second, and the behavior will only last 0.6 seconds, so you'll have 0.4 seconds of not having the behavior. So it'll be kind of weird in that way. It won't look consistent. So let's just make the movement speed say 50%. It's going to be a debuff. We're going to be walking through water. Slow them down. And that's pretty much that. Let's see. There we go. A little water drop icon. Not really sure. I guess we don't need a model for that. Can't really think of a model that would look good on that to make them look soaked. I'll just copy that icon. Not that they're going to see it. Remove that tooltip on the thorns. Okay, there's no tooltip. I'll remove that tooltip from healing. Forgot about this. Alright. There's that. Did I do the right one? Yeah. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, just find something like pylon. Duplicate the actor right here. This is going to be an invisible placeholder that's going to basically act as an aura that makes the units soaked, and we're going to put it in the middle of a pool. So let's call this I don't know, water soaker or whatever. And what we're going to do here is give the model of invisible. That way it doesn't show up as an error sphere, like sometimes it might if you don't give it an actor. So we just make an invisible actor, and we need to remove all the footprints, get rid of that, and the radius. Make this 0. The movement radius, separation radius, and the minimap radius. And I guess make the site radius 0. Why not? Take away all the abilities, the command card. And let's go to behavior, remove this. Add soaked source. And then we're going to go to flags. Do 2 things here, make it not move and make it invulnerable. So yeah, untargetable, just check all these, uncommandable, just to make sure. Make it not movable. Make it, or is it invulnerable? There we go. Alright, and that should be it. So now we got our soaker. Let's go to neutral player. Oh, and to see it in the editor, so you know where the hell it is, go to model, model editor. We can just make this a pylon so that we know it's there, but you only see this in the editor. There, now you see it. Now you're not going to see that in game. So I can delete that, and let's just let's add some water right here, I guess. I give it a radius of 10, which is about. You actually get a circle, and what you can do is just make the radius 10, like so, and you can use that to determine how. That's basically the field that's gonna give enemies the water debuff, and you can use that to put water, and that's a little trick. So I'm just gonna make an entrance out here, add some water. Now what I'm going to do is add water in the whole area, and you're just going to slightly depress everything. Move that water down until you get it to good, wherever you want it, good size. There we go. So now move this like right there, move that like right there. So now you see that'll pretty much cover most of it. I mean, I'm not gonna make it perfect, and I'm not gonna spend all my time trying to make it perfect, but you get the idea. So just delete that region. Make some zombies over here. And there we go, that's hopefully going to work as a map hazard. And to do this, if you want to make something like, I don't know, if you want to make a volcano or something, just, or like a place that's on fire, you can actually put a fire model there and then do the same thing, make it so players can walk through it. Not that they're necessarily going to want to if that damages their unit, or maybe they have to get to another area. But you just go to the behavior, soaker in this case, or soaked. Just call it like on fire or something. Give it a periodic. Basically, you just have it work at like the virus behavior. You know, where it's periodic effect. In this case, it would just be damage right here. Just make it damage nearby enemies periodically. Use it like an aura. That's how you would make like a fire pit or like a volcano or something. Let's test this. Doesn't look like it's really working properly. Neither are the units. They're not walking through the water correctly. I don't know why.
Yes. Your will.
Now it's kind of working.
Your will. Yes.
I don't really know what's happening there. Oh, it's a lot of zombies. But you got the idea. You see it's working. The unit loses movement speed. I mean, you can see it visually. And then when it gets away from the out of the water. Okay. Looks like the radius is a little larger than I showed you with that tip. So I was actually wrong there. You see, I put it right about there, but you see it's slowing them all the way out here. Right here even. So you're just gonna have to work with that, the range. And yeah, that's how you make a map hazard. I just want to see if I can fix that real fast. I don't know why so normally that's how it should be. I don't know why it's being weird and it's not. They're not walking down the hill properly. I don't know. Anyways, so that's that. Maybe we went over everything. You got the virus / aura, debuff and buffs. You got thorns and damage resistance. And then the map hazard I showed you, which is basically an aura for an invisible unit. Yeah, that's a tutorial on behaviors. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Peace.